Welcome to Does It Matter by Brainy Ballers, where we dissect the game with cutting-edge analytics to give you the upper hand. We analyze everything from hand sizes to average depth of targets to uncover hidden trends that no one else sees. Say goodbye to guesswork and hello to data-driven domination. Because here at Brainy Ballers, we don't just watch the game, we understand it. So get ready, it's podcast time.
Let's jump into this deep dive. We're unpacking a metric for pass catchers that, feels like it should be simple. Tight end wingspan.
Right. The theory seems so obvious. A longer wingspan means a wider catch radius, which should lead to more success, especially on those contested catches.
So our mission today was to see if that really holds up under pressure. And, more importantly, can we find a specific benchmark that you can actually use to predict elite performance?
To do that, we pulled a huge data set. We're talking the top 50 PPR fantasy tight ends every single year from 2013 to now.
And focusing on PPR points per reception is key here because it really emphasizes pure catching ability.
Exactly. And we compared the best of the best, the top 10 finishers, against what we called the bottom 10, so places 41 through 50. We wanted to see a clear difference between the elite and the bottom tier guys.
And this is where the data just immediately goes sideways, right? Because the first thing you found was, kind of a shock.
A huge shock. We looked at the averages, and in 7 of the last 9 seasons, that's almost 78% of the time, the top 5 fantasy TEs actually had a lower average wingspan than the guys finishing way down in the 31st to 50th range. It completely invalidated that initial simple idea that longer arms are automatically better.
So the whole more is better idea, it fell apart immediately.
And when we tried to confirm it statistically with a standard correlation test, the Pearson value came back at negative 0.055.
Whoa, negative 0.055. For anyone who scouts prospects, that number means... well, it means absolutely nothing, right? It's just noise.
It's pure noise. You need something greater than 0.1 or less than negative 0.1 to even begin to say there's a significant trend. This confirms it. You can't just draw a straight line where more wingspan equals more points.
Okay, so if the straight line connection is a bust, where did you pivot to find something that's actually useful?
We had to change the entire approach. We stopped looking for a simple correlation and started hunting for a specific cutoff point. A performance threshold.
It's like a sweet spot.
Exactly. We used what we call a differences chart. Basically, we plotted the success rate of top 10 guys versus the failure rate of the bottom 10 guys at every single possible wingspan measurement to see where the trend flipped.
And that nonlinear approach, what did it find? Give us the definitive benchmark, the number that you can actually take away from this.
The optimal sweet spot, the range that best captures the elite guys while filtering out the bottom tier finishers, is this. Tight ends with a wingspan.
Do you want to start dominating your drafts? At brainyballers.com, we've researched every metric under the sun for you to find which ones are best linked to fantasy points. You can access hundreds of metrics to sharpen your scouting abilities so you know which metrics matter and which are just noise. Stop guessing on which thresholds to look for within each metric. Big numbers can be misleading or irrelevant. Our ultimate athlete blueprints reveal essential scouting metrics, their importance, and benchmarks within each metric that help predict a player's probability of being a success or bust. Elevate your scouting ability with Brainy Ballers' Ultimate Athlete Blueprints today. Click the link in the description. Now back to the show.
Of 77.5 inches or less.
Or less. So it's a cap, not a minimum.
It's a cap. That specific range produced an 11.5% higher appearance rate in the top 10 than it did in the bottom 10. And that difference, that's the edge.
That is just incredible. So wingspan isn't a silver bullet. I mean, the Pearson value proved that beyond a doubt.
Right.
But when you use it as a very specific benchmark, it gives you one more piece of evidence to, tilt the odds just a little bit more in your favor.
And that distinction is what's so fascinating here. The simple idea, the linear correlation, it was a complete failure. But finding a precise data-driven benchmark, that succeeded.
Which leaves a really interesting question for you to think about. Why does that subtle shift in analysis, going from looking for a simple trend to hunting for a specific physical threshold, why does that matter so much when you're evaluating some of those gifted athletes in the world? Something to mull over.